Hello everybody, this is Dutch Owen, bringing you another flight simulator video. Today we're going to be doing a relatively short tutorial flight to show how to conduct one of the classes of assignments in the new FSCaptain Assignment system that will be coming out in the next major release of FSCaptain. What we're looking at here is a rather generic looking Air America DC-3. We're sitting at a very misty Olympia, Washington airport. Olympia, Washington happens to be the center for a number of FSCaptain assignments. We call it the Olympia Assignments Pack because it has a number of assignments written to illustrate the capabilities of what the scripting system can do. We used to call it FSCaptain Mission System, but we've now since decided that that causes somewhat confusion in people's minds. They think it's somehow related to the FSX missions system that's built into FSX. It is not. It has nothing to do with those. It doesn't require that you touch that system or use it in any way. We have our own mission system built into FSCaptain. So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be flying a short mission, a firefighting mission. Our DC-3 is going to have a great big dispenser system for some fire retardants, and we have a fire burning, a small but intense forest fire burning near some houses in northern Olympia, and our assignment today will be to see if we can hit that fire with some retardant and reduce the size of it so that the firefighters can get it under control. So let's hop into the cockpit and get this thing started, and I'll explain what we're doing as we go. Remember, this is a tutorial. If you are a tester for the FSCaptain Assignment System, this will help you understand how to do what we call an Airdrop class mission. Hitting key a few times and we pop into the cockpit. This is a beta of the new DC-3 from Manfred Jahn and his associates. It's a magnificent freeware airplane. You get a look at it also. The beta just came out a few days ago, and we'll be using it to dump our fire retardant. All right, we get started. First of all, before we do anything else, we'll bring up the FSCaptain FCDU, which you can see over here. I've kind of made it larger than I normally look at in order for you to be able to read the lettering on the screen on a blurry YouTube video, and sometimes they do get a little blurry. When we bring up the FSCaptain FCDU, we call it, for Flight Communications Data Unit, we get the standard FSCaptain login screen. This one's called the Acme Communicator. This flight will become a part of my Acme Airlines career, assuming I complete it and don't crash. We log in. When we do, we don't have a prearranged booked FSCaptain flight from this airport, so it gives us the pre-flight menu. And there's a number of options here to create a passenger flight, review our history, enter a time limit, select a destination for our flight, or set up a ferry. Here, what we're interested in is this one called Select Mission. There are two possibilities here. If you bring up the FSCaptain pre-flight menu at an airport and you see display info here, that means there are no missions available for you at that airport. That could be because there are no missions written for the airport, which, of course, there are only a select few that have missions written for them right now. And missions or assignments, I will use the term mission to mean assignment, even though the official title of this product is the assignment system. And it is not a product, it's a part of the standard FSCaptain product. This subsystem, the assignment system. At any rate, if you do not have any assignments written for you at the airport, or you're in perhaps the wrong kind of airplane, perhaps there's an assignment written for a small airplane or for a huge airplane, we're in a DC-3, could be the wrong size airplane, or it could be that you're missing some add-on that's required for the particular assignment, but whatever, you'll see display info here. If you see select mission, that means there's at least one assignment available at this airport. To find out what it is, click on this button. And the one we're expecting to see pops up for us. It says, drop 4,000 pounds fire retardant on a small but intense forest fire threatening homes in North Olympia. Return to KLOM. That's a brief description of the assignment that I'm being offered, I have the ability to decline it. If I were to decline it, it would return me back to the opening screen. I could select mission again and look at another mission that I might choose to accept or decline. But our whole purpose here is to do this mission, so let's accept it and see what happens. It doesn't waste much time. Comes up, changes the screen a little bit. It says it's Flight 7403, which is the Acme Airlines flight number it's assigned to this. And we're in what's called the load phase. There are 5 phases of each mission, some of which may or may not apply to a mission, but the first is load. Then there's an outbound phase where we're flying to the target. There's an engage phase where we're engaged with the target. Then there's an inbound when we're coming back to our destination, and finally a completion phase. So those are the 5. Load is first, and we have to load something. It says, note, round trip is less than 20 miles. Perhaps trade fuel weight for payload weight to handle 4,000 pounds if necessary. In other words, we were in a smaller airplane than a DC-3. We might need to minimize the fuel. Let's take a look here at our fuel situation. We've got more fuel than we need. I'm going to reduce the fuel. You may not be able to see this because it's a pop-up window that may or may not be visible in this video, but I've reduced about half our fuel, and so it says, this is the prompt. This white message is a prompt. It says open the doors. We have 2 options below open the doors. We can abort the mission. In other words, oh no, I'm not going to really do this. If I were to click on abort, it will say confirm abort mission. If I were to confirm it, it would just throw this whole thing away and not record anything. I'm going to return because that's not what we want to do. It says open the doors. The other option is to end the mission. Abort means throw it away, forget it. It's as if you didn't do anything. End means end the mission right now. We've already spent some time on it. If we ended it, it would log this mission as being incomplete, but you spent some time on it, and that time and the fact that you didn't finish it would be recorded in your career. We certainly don't want to do that. There are some times when you might need to end a mission. Let's say you were in a combat mission and you get shot down, but you land at some farmer's field and you're still alive and you want to record the damage you did to the enemy, so you can end a mission there. But in our case, we want to do what it's telling us to do, open the doors. We'll do the FSX Shift E. Main exit will open, and it will see that, and it'll say authorize load. What it's basically doing there is saying, all right, I want to authorize you, FS Captain, to load my airplane with the 4,000 pounds of retardant. I click on that, and it will automatically happen that it will load the aircraft. And then we shift, once we're loaded, we shift to the outbound phase. Now you can see Flight 7403 is now outbound. Our text has changed to tell us the information we need to know in the outbound phase. It did not remind us to close the door. An interesting fact. If I shift D again, it will close the main exit for us, and that's what we want. Alright, so we still have our abort end options. They still mean the same thing. Right here is a mission timer. We have so far spent 3 minutes and 14 seconds on this mission so far. And I can stop showing you the FCDU and close it while we actually fly the mission. So let's start up this DC-3 and get going. Turn on the battery. Nav and beacon lights. Fuel pumps and generators. Come down here and check our mixture, make sure it's okay. Crack the throttles a little bit. This is how you start the DC-3 beta. It's very authentic. We'll start our right engine first. Start cranking it. Let it crank a little bit to get the oil distributed, and we'll start priming it. 3 primes. 3 primes did it. Generator light went off and the engine is firing. You can hear it kind of struggling to get going there. Pretty soon that sound will smooth out, and we can note that our manifold pressure is rising, RPMs are rising. So let's start the left engine. Start priming it, and it also started at 3. It doesn't always start as easily. It's about an average start. Can be a little bulky. Now the left engine is kind of struggling to get started, but it will. And the DC-3 is shaking like the DC-3 does when it gets its engines going. Now we'll turn off our fuel pumps because we don't need them anymore. Things get quiet and we hear the nice steady hum of the radials. Turn on our inverter. Should be all we need to do. Airplane is going. I don't know if the visibility here is good enough for these folks at Olympia to let me take off. Let's see. They may say it's IFR here. I'm going to be flying north.
Olympia Brown, Douglas Niner, Niner 4, ready to taxi, north departure.
Douglas Niner, Niner 4, taxi to and hold short of runway 17. Seeing taxi Retardant. Contact tower 124.4, ready.
Taxi, hold short runway 17, via taxiway Bravo, Douglas Niner, Niner 4.
Alright, before we get going, let's take a look at our FCDU again. It provides us with some information that we need to know. Fire reported at VOR OLM 326 from radial 6 DME. So that's where we're flying to. Since it's flying from the OLM VOR and that's here at the airport, then we basically are going to be steering 326. But let's tune our radio to make sure we know where we're going, especially the visibility kind of sucks today and we may have a hard time finding it. The ceiling is actually something like 1,500 feet. So the Olympia VOR is a 113.40. And what did they say? 326. So let's dial 326 to our VOR here. It should be right about there. Alright, so our nav aids are set up. While we're doing that, our engine is properly warmed up. Reduce the mixture to auto rich. And taxi on over to runway 17. I've flown enough assignments out of here to be pretty familiar with the Olympia Airport. Taxi our trusty old DC-3 out to the runway, takeoff, turn around to heading of 326, roughly, and fly along that and see if we can see a fire burning. That's the plan. If we see a fire burning, we will execute the airdrop of the retardant on the fire. If we don't see a fire, you won't know it because I'll shut down the video and try to figure out what went wrong with the system. But it's been working, so let's hope it works for our movie today. Groovy runway 17. Are we ready to go? Let's adjust our artificial horizon correctly and get our cowl flaps to trailing position. Don't need any flaps because it's got plenty enough runway. Altimeter is correctly set down here. So let's go ahead and get on out of here.
Olympia Tower, Douglas Niner, Niner 4, runway 17, ready for takeoff, north departure. Douglas Niner, Niner 4, cleared for takeoff, runway 17, departure to the north approved. Cleared for takeoff, runway 17, Douglas Niner, Niner 4.
Thank you very much. Let's get on up there and put out that fire. It's only 6 miles away. Good thing the wind's not blowing this direction, huh? I don't even know. I think the wind's about 210, so we'll get a little crosswind on this takeoff. Should have listened to the weather, but we're in a hurry. We don't want these people's houses to burn down. Yeah, definitely a crosswind. Throttle her back to Mito power. We don't want to get too high, we'll get the clouds. It's sort of a 500 foot per minute climb rate. Reduced to climb power, 3600 36 inches of map. Turn around to a 326 heading. This is one of the 5 classes of missions in the FSCaptain assignment system that you can fly. It's called an Airdrop class assignment. It involves dropping something from the air for some purpose. In this case, it's put out a fire. But it could be something like drop some parachutists, or could be dropping food to a remote village, or perhaps some isolated troops behind enemy lines. There are a lot of different things you can drop out of an airplane and a lot of different reasons to do it. In this particular case, we're looking to put out a fire, and we're off of our radial, but we're so close to the airport it doesn't make any difference. We're already at 1,200 feet. I'm going to throttle it back because we don't want to be going too fast. We're already going way too fast, actually. We want to be going quite a bit slower when we cross this fire so that we get a chance to put it out. Aha! You can see how close it is, and how close it is to the houses around here. Alright. That's obviously our target. Some targets are very subtle. Some targets are very subtle and hard to see. This one is easy. Not only is it easy, but it's pretty easy to see when we're over it because we'll get into that smoke. Alright, let's throttle this engine back. We're at about 1,000 feet, which is where we want to be. We'll dip down a little bit. There's no reason not to go ahead and execute the attack right here. The engagement message, yeah, it just says, there it is, there it is. Alright, open the door. Our doors are open, ready for our drop. Brought up the FCDU so you can watch it authorize the drop. When we get close, it'll authorize the drop. I'm actually going to do the drop by clicking on the no smoking switch, which is a drop authorization signal here in the DC-3. We're at 800 feet, which is perfect. Got a little wind picking up, but it's alright. We're around 130 knots, that's good. Aiming for our fire. Don't want to get too close. We have to stay at least 300 feet above the ground, or we won't get a drop authorization. In this particular assignment, we should be good. There's our authorize. Wait, go. Alright. We dropped our retardant. Let's see if we hit it. Alright, we got it. Take a look right here. Drop hit. It'll say drop hit or drop miss. If you miss it, well, then you missed it, and you're not going to get any objective met points for this mission. But we hit our fire, so presumably we might have put it out. Let's hope so. What we're going to do, let's fly out here a little bit longer at around 1,000 feet, and then we'll turn the DC-3 around. We're flying at 330 right now. We'll turn it around to 150 and fly back over the fire and see if we got it. And if we did, we'll waggle our wings at the firefighters and the police there. Kind of say, hi, how are you? Aren't you glad we put your fire out mostly for you? And if we missed, then, or if we didn't put it out, then I guess we'll have to go back and try this again. But since we hit the fire, in theory, we should have actually gotten it. No, let's switch back here. Number on to probably 1.6 or so. Fire area. Just past that golf course, I think. somehow got started out here in this wooded area, but it was pretty close to these houses when we got it. I don't see any fire. That's good news. Apparently we put it out. Down here are firefighters, police, folks. Aha! Still a little bit of fire left down there. Right there. That's okay. Let's waggle our wings at those guys. And head back to Olympia. We are now on the inbound phase of our assignment here. Flight 7403 is inbound. 15, nearly 16 minutes into the mission so far, and it's going to tell us the OLMVOR frequency so we can tune it to get back home. We don't really need to do that because we know it's down here somewhere. Man, the air is bumpy today. I'm kind of winging it in terms of fighting the airport in this mist. I think it's dead ahead, right in front of us right now. I'm going to swing around this way. There's the state capitol over there. That's a good landmark. Fly up past this little river, estuary, whatever it is. Get past the state capitol, and that should line us up with runway. Let's reduce power here. It is a choppy day. They're like bump, bump, bump. That's not stuttering. That's the air knocking us around. I'm using Active Sky next, and it really enhances the turbulence. Yep, that's our runway. So, headed back to Olympia. Hey guys, I'm coming back.
Olympia Tower, Douglas 943 miles north of Olympia. Douglas 994, Olympia Tower, make straight in, runway 17, altimeter 2974. Douglas 994, clear to land, runway 17. Clear to land, runway 17. Douglas 994.
They told us to land, let's go ahead and land. Looks like our airspeed is down where the gears can be lowered. Approximately. Landing lights wouldn't hurt. More flaps. We gotta lose some speed here. DC-3's like to land at 80 knots. No problem, we'll get down there. Full flaps. That will probably have to add power to that. That's going to be just about perfect, looks like. Kind of crabbing because of the crosswind. That wind blowing in from about 210, 210. 85 knots. Down to 80. That is how to land a DC-3. Well, brag too soon. Kind of took to the air again for a little bounce. You really don't want to bounce it. You can help it. It's quite a challenge to not bounce this baby, especially in that crosswind.
Douglas 994, contact ground on 121.6.
I'll contact ground, but I'm not gonna tell them where to go. Let them tell me where to go. I'm gonna go back to where we started, basically, and we'll complete our assignment and we'll be done with it. cut that corner a little too soon. This is the stock Olympia Airport. This is not an enhanced version at all. This is what comes with FSX. And that's an important point because most of these, many of these assignments are written around a particular airport. And some of them have animations of things like emergency vehicles or transport trucks and things moving around the airport. And if you have a non-stock version, then they won't be going in the right places. So some assignments are written such that the airport you have has to be a stock airport, and the mission won't be offered unless it is. All right, we're back home. Shut her down. Should have turned off those landing lights when I landed. This is not a tutorial about how to fly a property. It's a tutorial about how to...
See ya, Captain. Goodbye, Ernie.
Hey, man. That's the built-in sounds here in the DC-3. Take a look here, and we see that we're in the final phase. Flight 7403 closeout says assignment complete. Once aircraft is stopped at KOLM, press complete to log it. Let's do it. 21 minutes and 30 seconds. And flight update transmitted, and we're done. And back to our pre-flight menu. It says display info, which means I don't have any missions for you right now, but if I reset and log in again, it'll come back with select a mission, and it's got another mission for me. And this one is deliver one passenger at 200 pounds cargo to KAST, that's Astoria, then look for a special mission there, accept or decline. We'll fly that one later. This is the end of this tutorial. Let's decline that and close down the FCDU, and let me thank you for watching this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you get your hands on the FSCaptain Assignment System soon and are able to fly some of these 20 or 30 different assignments we have out of KOLM, putting out fires, delivering passengers, delivering organs, practice combat missions, practice airdrops, real combat missions. We got it all coming from Olympia, Washington in the beta of the FSCaptain Assignment System. Next major release. See y'all later. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye. Enjoy your life.